Welcome to Pod of Thunder, powered by Blue Microphones. It's the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting. And thank you to Mike Pond for this week's intro to the show. And guess who it is? You'll never guess. Oh my God, whose voice is that?
It's my buddy Andy.
It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. And as always, I am joined by a man who was once described this way.
He was a moocher, a card cheat, a country club golf hustler, a scumbag.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris L. He's the breakout star of the podcast medium. There he is.
Much more appropriate.
You like that one better?
Intro, yeah.
Does he say a country club or does he say a cunty club?
A country club.
It's got to be country
hustler,
club.
yeah.
I don't hear the N though.
We'll play it again. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it only makes sense for country club,
Well,
but it's
yes.
yeah.
He was a moocher, a card cheat, a country club golf hustler, a scumbag.
Well, it might have been a glitch in the audio.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I meant I didn't hear the R in there. The
Stole it from some shitty YouTube video. What are you going to do?
As expected for our show. Only the best.
Yes.
So welcome to the program. I got to say it's been a rough week.
Yeah.
I'm looking for good things starting today. Starting now with this podcast and however it turns out.
We've both had expenditures into the 4 digits.
There you go. You too, huh? You got up that high.
Car.
Oh,
Didn't I tell you about that?
The car. I'm thinking of the other, the basement thing.
Car was sitting idle in my garage. Not idling, but just parked in the garage while we were on vacation. Come back, and it's fucked up. How does that happen?
So worked fine. You parked it in there. Gone for a week. And
get back and was moving it out of the garage. It barely started up, and when it did, I was able to put it in reverse, and this sound of grinding metal coming from the bottom of it. So
that's the worst.
And then we both had water in our homes from the 6 inches of rain we've received.
Yep, that's true too.
So that puts us in the perfect mood to formally address the Nick situation.
There you go.
We're going to flat out just bring it, tell you what's going on. No more shenanigans, comedy bits, things of that nature. People are pestering us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that Nick communicated to us about a month ago that he's just at the point where he doesn't think he can carve out the time each week.
How dare him? How dare him?
That's, he all we can do is tell you what he told us, and that's that he's at the point where he doesn't think he can carve out the time each week, and doesn't feel that he can participate on a regular basis, if at all. That's pretty much it.
And I feel like people are going to have a lot more questions, and this is our response.
Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
It's the truth.
Yes, just,
There's no other, I don't know.
6 years is a long time to do anything, much less something creative or entertainment related.
I asked Nick, I said, hey, man, how about tonight? Come on, come back.
And I can't do it.
And that was his response. So,
my entire music career in Chicago lasted 5.5 years, and that was in 2 separate bands, and it seemed like it lasted forever.
Yeah, right.
This has already exceeded that by half year. It's a long time to be doing anything.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Well, you have to put these things in perspective.
Yeah.
And also, all 3 of us have jobs, at least as of this moment. Touch base with us again on Monday.
Yeah, Monday afternoon, see what we're doing.
All 3 of us have wives.
Yep.
Andy and Nick have kids. Nick has 3 kids. The man has a life.
Yeah, Nick has
things to do.
Yep.
People to answer to.
Yep.
not everybody is like Chris Jericho or Joey Casada, who can spin all these plates and do all this stuff and just, keep plowing ahead with it. And other people have different priorities and different different levels of ability to carve out some time for this sort of thing. So.
Right. So there you have
now,
it.
Andy and I, it's kind of a long time ago. I think it was on our way to Fort Wayne to hang out with Jericho once, right? Where we discussed this, how, if for us to continue with some sort of entertainment or creative outlet for ourselves, this is the one that absolutely requires the least amount of effort.
Yeah, right.
And offers the most exposure for potential as such.
And it's fun.
Yeah. And so our attitude is, if we can't carve out an hour and a half of our time each week to do this, we might as well just pack it in. And I'm talking about pack it in completely.
Life. Yeah.
No, not in life, but in putting ourselves out there in an entertainment or creative capacity.
Yeah, sure.
If you can't do this, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this requires the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
For the most amount of exposure. We're not schlepping gear to any fucking clubs anymore to play in bands.
Yeah.
We're not going to become thespians and join the local theater group and do all rehearsing and what goes into
studying.
That.
Yeah.
Those things aren't happening. This is our last shot at it. And, again, it takes an hour and a half of our time to actually do the episode every week. The promotion and whatnot is kind of happens, but so we agreed out on our way out there that if we are not able to even do that much, we should just pack it in. And we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're still good. So we'll be
So that
there.
would be the other alternative for people who are squawking at their listening devices right now. We could just fold up the show.
Yeah.
But that's no solution.
That's no solution, and we don't want to.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
there you go.
We're not making any money from this.
No.
So just we're putting it out. If you want to listen to it, fine. If you're like some people we know who have announced, no Nick, no me, or whatever this crap is that's going on. If that's your attitude, that's fine. We understand. It's a big change, but the dude has a life. We've been doing this for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Yeah,
so
the people are saying,
Y'all trying to kill me?
nobody's trying to kill anyone. This is just
we're not
a
doing
life event.
Yeah, we're not doing this to you.
Right.
So
and there's no animosity either.
Yeah.
Anytime he wants to come back, pop in for an episode, doors open.
Yeah.
There's none of that going on.
Yeah.
Nick is fine health-wise as far as we know. So
yeah, if you're worried about him, you shouldn't be.
Yeah. If you follow him on Instagram, apparently he's cooking up a storm on there.
Is he? Yeah.
And so there you have it.
There it is.
So from this moment on, we move forward.
Yep.
We're probably going to do more of the Skyping in of guests. We've established that we can do that, and it's manageable. Actually, it would be even more so now because I think 3 people is the ideal number. You get more than that, there's too much talking over each other, blah, blah, blah.
Gets chaotic after 3.
And I believe we have a guest lined up for our next episode.
We do.
So, a guest booked, if you will.
Isn't that funny?
I believe that's the industry parlance.
Yes.
So I think, we're going to explore that moving forward. We've had great shows with Jack Broad and Joey Casada.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not that will be true with people who don't live in New Jersey, hard to say, but we're going to find out.
That's our sweet spot so far, though. 2 for 2 with the New
yes.
Jersey guys.
So yeah, that from this moment forward, we move ahead.
Yeah.
And how are we moving ahead with today's song selection? What's the plan?
Well, we're picking up the pieces, right? We had an established order, a rotation with the three of us, with Nick, and then the fourth was the rotating guy pulling one from his own collection. And we figured we needed to do something to, I don't know, not replace Nick, but to throw it in there and add more variety, I suppose, to the selections. So the idea we're going to try today is an idea we tried a few weeks back, whatever that was, a month or two.
It was the Volbeat episode.
The Volbeat episode. So that was when I forfeited my turn from the listener submission list and used a random number generator that told us what number on the list we were going to use. So it was like between whatever 1 and 952 or whatever it was at the time, and it gave us a random number. We went to that line in the document, and there was Volbeat's Sad Man's Tongue, and that was the episode. So today we're going to do that exact same thing.
Yes, we are.
So I'm going to...
So what is the number at now of number of songs on the list? That might be interesting information for the listeners. Listeners meaning those people who are left who have abandoned ship after this seismic development in human history. You know, get a grip on yourself, some of you out there. Get your fucking shit together. It's a show. It's actually similar, I think you would agree, Andy, to being in a band. Other creative types, a bunch of dudes getting together to make something happen. Guys fall off eventually.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Yeah. We're not fucking U2. We're not ZZ Top. We don't have the same guys from start to finish. So deal with it.
Yeah.
Of all the things that are going on in your life, this is literally at the bottom of the list of things you should be getting upset about.
Y'all killing me with this.
Yeah, you should not be reacting that way. You should be like, oh, okay, well, let me check out this episode, and if I like the song, I'll like it. If not, I'll see what's in store next week, or listen to another podcast, whatever.
We hope you listen. If you don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. It's
Take
your
a
life.
Shit. That's my advice to anybody who's not channeling their energy in the right direction. Stop what you're doing. For starters, channel that energy into your next bowel movement. Right the ship like what we're doing right now and get on with it.
So I'm looking at the list now. We have 1,114, 1114 song submissions. And if you want to submit a song that you'd like us to potentially talk about, go to potofthunder.com. It's easy. You'll find it on there. There's a song submission tab, and you just type it in.
And now that it's random, it's even more likely that your song might come up.
Yeah,
because it's not just something that... I think typically, or how it was headed, was we'd see something that we liked and we'd pick that. The one random was something none of us had heard and we didn't really care for it. And some say that makes for the best episodes. So
yeah. So let's put this together here. Again, like you said earlier, least amount of effort is what we do here.
Yeah,
I mean, hour and a half. We didn't do any prep. We're doing this right now as we speak. So we have to go between these two numbers, between numbers 21 and 1,114.
Yeah, the 1 through 20 are the top of the list songs we've done already. In case you're wondering.
Yeah.
But that's a random number generator on Google.
Yep.
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything on Google.
Yeah. So when I
count the crevices in your scrotum, you can do that if you want. Map them out. You could totally do that with Google.
You could do an Earth view and zoom into your scrotum. Yeah.
Compare it to the topography of Mars if you'd like. There's really nothing you can't do anymore in Google.
You're right. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone on Google Earth and just like looked at stuff?
I mean, I've looked at my own house,
Your own house
from above.
Yeah. I remember when that first came out, or I don't know if it was when it first came out, but when I first downloaded Google Earth, when it was not even something that was on the website. It was a separate download when I first got it, like a program you had to download. And I remember when I got it, it freaked me out because that was the first time I'd ever seen that. And I don't know if in my head I was thinking this is live, but I was just thinking it's so weird that you could put like Eiffel Tower and then it's like the globe spins and it takes you to it. That's just so weird. And it's kind of something you take for granted now. I mean, it's the same as looking at a globe when you were a kid, but you could zoom in and you see people standing there and the actual thing and car. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Crazy times.
Yeah. It's, everything is on camera. Everything's being recorded. So.
Have you ever looked at Google Earth, like where there's like someone taking a crap on the side of the road or like weird stuff on there?
No, how would you find that?
There's pages that have captured the images. We might have to.
Maybe there's one of you puking in the ditch after the Boys Are Gonna Rock video.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
You know, this just reminded me of something. I was driving home from work, and you are now commuting back into the city.
Mm-hmm. This is correct.
And lately, traffic's been a nightmare because of construction somewhere. I'm not even sure where it is, but, you know, domino effect where the commute's been awful lately. So the other day, I'm driving home, and there's a car on the left shoulder. And, you know, you were going like 10 miles an hour, basically, almost idling, but a little faster. And there's a woman,
oh God,
pants all the way down to her ankles, taking a crap with like Kleenex. I'm assuming it's Kleenex. She probably doesn't travel with toilet paper, but like wiping her ass, taking a crap on the side of the road. And it's like,
what highway was this?
This was the Dan Ryan.
Jesus.
It's 8094 going east.
Had to have been an absolute emergency.
It had to be. Yeah. I didn't even like want to laugh at her. I was just like, yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do that if you're just like, I kind of have to take a shit right now.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do it, you know.
It's not a kind of
like,
situation.
No, it's going to be like, I will shit all over this car if I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's like
wow.
It's like I have two options right now. I either shit and ruin my car or potentially hundreds to maybe thousands of people will see me shitting on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And that's the choice I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her for making the choice.
Well,
but
no,
it's just,
you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. That's just showing how severe the situation was.
Wow.
But yeah.
Jesus.
And, you know, this is like maybe 6:30 p.m. So it wasn't like it was dark and I just caught a glimpse with my headlights.
Now, did you actually see the shitting happening? Or
I saw the shit on the ground and I saw the paper wipe going between the cheeks.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one mistake this lady made that I think maybe she...
Well, there were several. But.
She could have rethought this process. She was wiping her ass with her ass facing the oncoming traffic.
No, you can't do
She
that.
should have done it the other way, where you didn't really know what was going on, but, you know, hide behind the car a little more.
Yeah.
She might have even been standing beyond the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
So there's some bad judgment on her part.
Open your driver's door, conceal it a little.
Open both doors. You could shit right between them.
No
one would know.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
You know, a dude would have thought of this.
Yeah.
A woman is not going to think of this.
Yeah, they're not used to those kinds of situations.
Yeah. I think I've talked about this before, but it's quite startling to actually witness a human being shitting.
Yeah,
it's on par with like when there's like a police horse or a carriage horse in the street and suddenly it starts shitting.
Yeah.
It's not that much different when a human being does it. I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
Once was on the way from the train to the Playboy office and some homeless guy.
Lower.
No, this was up top. Right by
wow.
the Hilton. Was that that hotel?
Sheridan. Yeah.
That stretch of straight sidewalk that led straight to like the Lucky Strike.
That's like a block from where I work now.
Yeah. So some homeless guy right in front of us dropped trow and just let loose with this liquid shit.
It's like
right in front
8:30
of us.
a.m.
Yeah, like in the summer.
And there's several people walking by.
Not. I mean,
not a ton, but
not a lot. But
okay.
it was literally 20 feet from us, right in our view. Shocking. And then the second time was our drummer in the Mean Reds. It we'd pulled over to some national park for some reason. He just dropped trow and took a giant shit right in front of us. And it's just like, it's shocking to see.
And I told you the guy who I saw take a shit was also the drummer in my first band. So there's something wrong with drummers.
Homeless people and drummers
Yeah.
will just shit right in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's startling.
Yeah.
Because when you're shitting, obviously you're not seeing it come out.
Yeah.
Nor are you frequently in a position where you see it come out. It's never depicted on film.
No.
I mean, we've all seen dogs do it, but when a human being does it, it's startling, trust me.
Yeah.
Not something you should go out of your way to see, but yeah.
Share your human shit stories with us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, please.
Between this and the Nick situation, I think we've completely lost everyone, so it doesn't really matter what song comes up.
Who cares?
Although people are seeing the song already and the name of the episode, so if they're interested, they're probably still on board.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Maybe it's such a good song that they're going to sit through all this human shit talk.
Or it could be the equivalent of human shit, and people seem to like those episodes as well.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, are you ready to generate a random number? This feels like a throwback to the Kiss days.
Spin it up, yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it. Here we go. All right. We've got 1,033. Now I will go to the list. And we will see what 1,033 is. Scroll. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom. All right. Ooh, there it is. 1,033. I'm going to read it because I've got the list in front of me. Chris, here we go. Let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Hamon. This one's called
Brain Scan
off of
Dimension Hatross
by the band
Voivod.
Ow! Oh!
So, it's first interesting note. I think when we did this same experiment with a random song, we got Volbeat, and I mentioned something about how I get Voivod and Volbeat confused because I've at the time never heard either one, and they're both 2-syllable V words of bands that I hear of and hear about, but I'm not familiar with. So, are you familiar with this one?
I'm familiar with the band, and I'm familiar with the album.
Okay.
And when I say familiar with the album, I remember getting it in college when I was the editor of the entertainment editor for the school newspaper.
Did it come in like as a promotional item?
Yeah, we would get boxes of albums every day from the local label reps. And I think we might have, I don't know if I did, I don't think I did this myself, but I think one of the other metal heads on staff might have actually reviewed this one for the paper. But Voivod is, I believe, a Canadian metal band from the 80s. I think they might even still be active, but they were definitely not of the hair metal type, and definitely not of the thrash metal type. They were definitely had something interesting and unique going on. And they also, you might want to look this up, but I can remember they went by sort of pseudonyms, the guys in the band. I know the guitar player went by Piggy.
Okay.
And I think the bass player went by Away was his nickname. And then I can't think of the other two. But they were definitely one of the more interesting metal offerings of the decade.
Okay, yeah, Michael Away, Langevin, but yeah, Away. They all do have names. There's Snake, Chewy, Rocky, Away.
Those are the guys on this album?
No, that's the current lineup.
Okay.
But I guess that is a thing. I don't know how many.
Yeah, I think Piggy.
There was Piggy.
I think he's deceased, correct?
Yes, 2005. Colon cancer.
And what's his real name again?
His name is Dennis Damore.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys had something interesting going on. So this should be a worthwhile analysis, I would think.
And also Jason Newsted played in this band.
That's right, yeah.
I don't remember when. I think that's probably why they were on my radar. Like I'd heard that, but
so who are the guys who played on this album?
Let's see. That's going to take me 1 second, but let's find it. So first of all, this album was 1988.
That would have been right when I was on the school newspaper.
All right, yeah, I'm pulling this up. Personnel, here we go. So we got Snake, Piggy, Blackie on the bass, and Away on the drums. So Snake is just the vocalist. Piggy's the guitar player. And these guys are from Quebec.
There you go. So nod to Nick and his Quebec beanie. There's a connection.
Yeah, look at that.
Maybe we'll try and make a connection to Nick with every song or band that comes up.
I'm sure
that one's an easy one.
That's an easy one for sure. So I'm just, I'm reading this stuff now. I don't know any of this, but apparently this is a concept album which narrates the exploits of Voivod's mascot cyborg, Korgul. So I don't know if you remember that or knew that.
Did not know that. I kind of remember it being a concept album on par with like the Queensryche empires of the time. And then their mascot, a nod to the Iron Maiden approach.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was directly influenced by that.
It has to be, right? Were they
Which album of their discography was this?
This is their fourth studio album.
Yeah. I remember seeing some of their videos on Headbangers Ball back in the day, and they definitely were against the grain of what was going on, that I recall. So this will be good, I think. I don't think we'll hate this. This is not going to be on the sabotage, savage sound. I don't think.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's going to be that level of cheese. I think there's going to be a little more substance, a little more interesting stuff to this one.
So a bonus track. That is, I'm reading about this. It says, hold on, where is it? The Batman theme cover is on the CD version, but not on the vinyl or cassette pressings. Which another connection was it's my cat's name, and he went to the vet today, and I spent over $1,000 that I was not expecting to spend.
His four-figure expenditure.
Yep.
So
there it is. Okay, and then the last thing before we get started, this album is Dimension Hatross. I'm sure if you're a French Canadian, I'm doing it wrong. I apologize.
Is there an umlaut over one of the letters, if I recall?
Over the O, yes. But it says the word Hatross is pronounced by singer Snake in French as the word atroce. So there you go. Atroce, meaning terrible or horrible. Is that like atrocious maybe? Same root? I don't know.
So
it's a terrible dimension. Dimension, terrible or horrible.
A dimension you don't want to be going into.
Yeah.
A dimension in which human beings are shitting in front of you. It's not the ideal place you want to be.
Yeah.
It's a stretch of road between the Sheraton and the Lucky Strike, and Chicago's Streeterville neighborhood.
Yeah, and this is where
if you want to Google Earth it will take you directly there.
Yeah.
You will see a pile of liquid shit somewhere in that stretch of road.
Yeah, this is where Away takes a shit in front of Snake, Piggy, and Blackie.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Okay, so we have... you know what? I forgot to mention.
Who submitted it?
It came from Greg Di Pasquale. We've seen his
that's a
name.
familiar name. He's appeared in our social discussions. And is there some comments?
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Bring it.
Music didn't sound like this until Voivod sounded like this.
Okay, that's what I remember.
Weird and gnarly.
Definitely remember them being weird.
Piggy, twisted rock, punk and metal riffs in a way like no one else before or since. And Snake's semi-decent grasp of the English language led to some tremendously awesome obscure lyrics. So I'm assuming French is the first language.
I would assume so.
This is exciting.
Yeah, like I said, it's not going to be the cheese fest that was Hall of the Mountain King, and it's not going to be the dreck of a Johnny Cash inspired metal tune. I think there's the word for this band that I'm remembering is simply interesting.
Okay.
Different.
Cool. All right, so 1988. This is track 6 of 8, unless you have the CD with the Batman theme.
Well, and the other thing is this being a concept album, we're plucking a song out of it. So I don't know if that's going to be similar to how it went with the music from the Elder songs, where people claimed that because they were out of sequence, they didn't really have the impact.
That's not
horse shit.
That's a load of shit.
Yeah, it is. It's a load of homeless guy shit right in front of you.
Yeah.
On the street between the Sheraton and the Lucky Strike in Chicago's Streeterville neighborhood.
I'm going to have to go there Monday and post a video.
Yeah.
On this very spot is where...
It's a short stretch of road.
Yeah.
In fact, it has its own street name, right? I can't even think of what it is, but it's literally one block.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know either.
But yeah, that's where it happened. Horrific sight.
Yeah, all right. Dimension Hatross.
A woman shitting on the left shoulder of the dad ride. Wow.
Yeah.
That's city living for you.
It is. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. What's the length of this song? Is this a...
It's long. They're all long. This is 5:09.
Okay.
I mean, not like 15, but they're all over 4. 1 over 6.
That's how they rolled.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Great children waiting to catch the stranger notions of that place.
I hear the accent already.
Yeah, I mean, is it even worth pulling up the lyric sheet? Or, I mean, you can if you want, but we're not going to be able to decipher anything, I don't think.
No, I guess maybe if something jumps out, I'll bring it up, but yeah.
I mean, dare I say, it's getting a little bit of a, and I know this preceded them, so this could be what Greg was talking about, how nobody sounded like this until they sounded like it, but getting a little bit of an early Ghost vibe here.
Yeah, I could see that.
Kind of a sparse. I mean, it's still kind of 80s production, so there's a lot of treatment going on, but it's still, compared to the other metal bands of the day, it's pretty sparse.
Yeah.
And just the kind of the tone of the vocals is a little similar.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is that because the guy has an accent or because he's not screaming?
No, I just think that the sound of it is kind of similar. And also the way he's phrasing the lyrics, which, do you have the lyrics?
I do.
Is there a lyric sheet?
Yeah, I have it up here on my phone. I'll just say the first line is "No sun for the gray children," so that's kind of the vibe of what he's getting at here.
Okay, an atrocious dimension.
Yeah.
That's, people are gray in this dimension.
Yep.
It's not a good look. It's almost like having jaundice.
It is.
Where your eyeballs are yellow.
I think I'm starting to get that.
These are not colors you want to aspire to with your complexion or your eyeballs.
No.
Now their evolutions, their reputations. The water is the comprehension, the deeper, stronger is the illusion. There's no more material, since they're invisible. High pressure, it's a lead, erasure, out of with their talk, they fill me
Now, I'm not super familiar with like the bands that they may have influenced. Probably influenced a lot of bands, but I'm probably going to be reaching here, and won't be the first time, but I could be completely off. But I mean, I'm wondering if Voivod was a pretty influential band to the kind of like the math metal
I could
genre.
See it. Yeah.
Like the Meshuggahs of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dimmu Borgir is a band that I'm somewhat familiar with. I'm hearing some similarities there.
Didn't they perform here like a couple of years ago?
Dimmu Borgir.
Is that
possibly.
the right band? Are they Viking metal band?
They might be.
Or am I
Were they at an
confusing?
open air, or did they just
No.
do a regular gig here somewhere?
I might be confusing the band, but I think it was at the Dark Lord Day, the big beer festival here.
Yeah, there you go.
That might have been right.
They do all their. They love their metal at that event.
Yeah. And it's like, if it's the right band that I'm thinking of, it was like that Viking style where the music videos are like borderline not Lord of the Rings, what's the other show? Game of Thrones. Attempt at like, I don't know, like battle scenes and stuff, and it's like got a film look to it.
I don't get any of that ever.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But when I mentioned math metal, and you sort of understood what I was saying.
Yeah.
So you know the genre.
Yeah,
somewhat.
it's like that cross between like prog and thrash.
Right, it's like complex time signature.
Yeah.
Is, trying to make a conscious effort to make the music complicated.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
But not as, wussified as some of the prog out there.
Right, yeah. Like, I don't even know who technically qualifies for math metal. I've heard the term, and the band I think of when I hear that is Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah, there you go.
That works,
That's
right?
Another one.
Yeah, I've seen them live before too.
Isn't that don't they whip their crowds in a kind of a? Don't they get really weird and violent on stage?
I've
themselves?
heard that, but when I was there, it wasn't like that. I mean, they're just energetic guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it changed, or this was a long time ago. It was probably like 03, 04. So I don't know. Maybe they turned a corner where they're taking shits in bags or something. I remember reading something like that.
Yeah.
This is all about taking shits, this episode.
Yeah, the math metal Googling turned up mathcore, and they mentioned Dillinger Escape Plan.
Right.
And it's described as a style of music that combines the speed and aggression of hardcore punk and extreme metal with rhythmically complex, dissonant riffs and abrupt tempo changes. I don't want to spend all my time looking at a Wikipedia page, but I would be surprised if Voivod wasn't among the bands, if not the band that gave rise to that whole genre. Because that was just, everything about him. Piggy, his name was that because he was a little puffy. He wasn't like all fat like the Fear Factory guy.
Okay.
But it was a chubby guy, and just they had a weird look to him, and the sound of it. I'm gonna sound like an old guy here, but shows like Headbangers Ball, 120 minutes.
Yeah.
You saw some legit musical discoveries on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I found out about Voivod. Headbangers Ball is where I discovered Primus.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go down the list. I wasn't much of a 120 minutes watcher, but that show preceded the, if I remember correctly, the actual explosion of alternative rock. So they were kind of ahead of the game on that.
Yeah, right.
And, showed a lot of quality against the grain stuff. And there's just no outlet for that anymore, is there? I don't know of it.
I don't know what it would be. Like something that's curated.
I mean, it's all
like
YouTube,
yeah,
really.
But then how do you find it?
Well,
that's the problem.
That's the thing. It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get quality suggestions from these algorithms. It's all like anything else. It's based on what's popular.
Yeah.
Spotify is not going to send you anything super interesting. Maybe once in a while.
Yeah.
You're going to get the same shit.
You need to get Back in Black.
You are. I mean,
money. But
granted, I've only dabbled in it, but it was the same way with satellite radio. It's like, yeah, occasionally you get the quote unquote deep cut, but more often than not, it's the same shit.
I think that has changed over time.
For the worse?
For the worse,
yeah.
With satellite radio.
It has to have, because I breeze in, I dabble in it, and I'm like, why would I do this? This is not what I want to hear.
And I do think I'm making this up. This is a theory I have in my head, but I think the reason is because so many people who worked in FM radio got laid off and worked their way into satellite radio, and they're doing the same things there that they were doing on FM radio.
Well, and it's also, look, these media outlets are in the business of succeeding, of making money.
Right.
It's also based on the fact that your garden variety cement head really wants to hear these more popular songs.
Yeah.
That's why we talked about it a couple episodes ago. The playlists of FM radio stations. These guys are not it makes you feel better about yourself to assume they're just lazy morons.
Yeah.
There's a method to that madness. The morons are the fucking listeners who actually want to hear this crap over and over.
Yeah, but it works, right? It's working.
The thinking is that people don't listen to this stuff for prolonged lengths of time. And with Spotify and the new YouTube, if something comes up you don't like it, or even if you do like it and your attention span shuts down, you just click over to the next song. Yeah. So it's becoming even worse. But it's really a result of what the listeners are looking for, and nine people out of 10 are not very adventurous at all. And that's why shows like Headbangers Ball in 120 minutes were so great, because they fed you this stuff you would have never been exposed to otherwise.
But shouldn't that have not succeeded then? Based on
it eventually didn't. It doesn't exist
right.
anymore.
I guess you're right.
And they were on it in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it wasn't prime time. Yeah,
but even you could even say that same thing about Yo MTV Raps. They showed stuff that was, not mainstream. Yeah, and all interesting stuff. And a lot of people felt that when that stuff was going on, that MTV was circling the drain at that point. Well, where is it now? I mean, they're showing, 16 and pregnant.
That's the only thing I've ever seen on it in like the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's just,
there has to be other stuff on it. I don't know what it is, but it's only pregnant teenager shows.
That is just so wrong. I don't even want to go down that road. Let's listen to some more Voivod.
Yeah,
that's a dimension that's atrocious to me.
Yeah.
I walk so ready.
What's this guy yelling into the mic?
I don't even know where we are. Checking. I think this is it. I don't know. There's a lot of lyrics to this song.
Yeah,
but this
don't
is where he
knock
says
yourself
brain
out,
scan.
really. Yeah.
Checking my mind. It's a brain scan. Sometimes my soul can't reach a sense. This head is mine. It's a brain scan. I think Greg was right when he was saying the grasp of the English.
Yeah, you always lose a little something.
Yeah.
It sometimes makes for entertaining results, but
one of two things is happening. Who's the singer of this band again? Which was
Snake?
Snake. So either Snake is way smarter than I am, or Snake is kind of missing the mark here with what he's trying to say. Either this is deeper than my understanding, or whatever. But it's cool. I'm not knocking it. I only speak one language, so I'm the idiot here.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking a guy for successfully singing in his second language and having like probably 15 albums over 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, these guys obviously were not crossover successes. This is very challenging music to listen to and to play, obviously. Like, I'm listening to this and I'm just like, I can't even wrap my mind around bringing this to the rehearsal room and showing it to your bandmates. Obviously, you'd all have to be of a like mind to put something like this together.
Yeah.
But it's just not where my head would have ever been musically. But I appreciate the fact that it's, especially in the late 80s, how different it was and just out of left field where it came from. I mean, that was one of the things when we got these albums, each one of them was accompanied by a promo pack, bio sheet and stuff. And, you just look at the cover art, the album titles, the guys' names, the write-up. It was all just, I'll use the term again. It was all very interesting. It's like, what's up with these guys? This is weird,
Yeah.
And then you check it out and you realize it is weird. And it's a challenging listen, but it's definitely not boring. And it's not creative.
Yeah.
And you got to give these guys credit for that, for doing something that at that time, again, I'm no expert on the genre, but this had to have been pretty revolutionary at the time.
Yeah. It's not sexy, though. We'll say that.
No. You're not gonna, you're not gonna get a lot of women at Voivod concerts. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or any of this stuff. It's like when King Crimson came around again and they did their fucking 3-drummer lineup and they played at the Vic. Me and my buddies went just because we were into the Discipline album, the Three of a Perfect Pair album, those 80s albums that King Crimson came out with. Of course, they played none of that because it wasn't that lineup. But we got tickets anyway. And it was at the Vic Theater. It was sold out. I think they did like 3 sold-out shows in a row because they hadn't played as King Crimson in a while, so it was kind of a big deal and pretty smallish venue.
Yeah.
What, about 2,000 you could fit in there?
I think so.
I would say tops, there were 7 women in that venue, and every one of them had been dragged there by their significant other.
Yeah.
It's just,
my
buddies and I agreed that if any of us had somehow convinced our wives, any of our wives to show up there, we would not be married anymore. That would be like a deal breaker. It's like, you drag me to this, you don't know me at all, why are we even married?
Yeah, that's just going to start other problems.
And just, you look at the women in these audience, in the audience, and it's just clear that they're like, okay, this guy owes me big time for this, or you're going to have a I'm that type of guy situation where you're in real trouble there. But
is it possible that those women already owed those guys for something?
It could be.
But there has to be some kind of favor. This isn't like, let's go, that's going to be awesome, honey.
Yeah, no. Now, along those lines, you were at a Dillinger Escape Plan show. How many women were there?
Jeez. I don't think it was...
Not as bad as
King Crimson, but of course it was mostly like guys who were like 20, like we were, that age range, early 20s. I don't know. I would say less than 10% of the audience for sure, but
they were
double digits at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see that because like when you're actually of that age, I think there's more just women in various scenes just because they're cliques or what people gravitate to. But when you're middle-aged and you're going down memory lane, when Dillinger Escape Plan comes through here in another 30 years, it'll be 7 women tops at that show.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody's bringing their kids to that show.
No one's bringing their kids dressed in Dillinger Escape Plan.
No, they're
clothes.
not. So all interesting stuff, and definitely send us some input about how where Voivod sits in terms of their influence on the math rock genre. But it's even my cursory knowledge of it just puts them right in that wheelhouse. And when I heard this in the late 80s, I never heard anything even remotely close to it, so they had to have been close to the forefront of it, if not at the very forefront. Now you did the same reaction when there was that tempo change earlier. It's like it registered with you, and you gave the the thumb sign to it, like there it is. It's math rock. Right? Just changing on a dime, and for the sake of doing it.
Sake of doing it, and it's getting more interesting to me as it's going along. I like that. I don't know. Maybe less. I think I liked this type of thing more when I was younger. And I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's like, I play bass and I think it's cool to do weird stuff like where you totally change the song in the middle of the song to something else. I don't know if that's like, I don't want to say immature musician to be like, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I also think that when you're able to pull something like this off, it's impressive in terms of showing your dedication to the music. You're able to work together as a unit and also impress with your technical prowess. Because, I mean, really at the root of it, guitar solos, you go all the way back to Chuck Berry or whoever played the solo on Rock Around the Clock,
Mm-hmm.
These guys, they were all trying to be the jazz guys. There's no reason for any pop song to have any sort of instrumental solo in it.
You're right.
There's absolutely no reason for it in terms of making the pop song more poppy or more attractive to your general listener. All it is whoever's playing the solo, be it guitar, sax, even bass, or drum solos are rooted in this.
Yeah.
When it was the 50s, the king shits of the music world were the jazz guys. Everybody wanted to be like, okay, those guys are fucking badasses on their instruments. I don't want to play that music, but I want to be a badass like him, so I'm going to interject this into
a little
the pop
bit
song.
Yeah.
And that's the root of all of it. And this is similar in that, like we said, there's no I don't know how to express it other than to say there's really no reason for these tempo changes and just stopping on a dime and switching gears as to say that it serves the song, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's in there to show what they can do technically.
It's a mental thing. It's not like a primal thing where, oh, this is appealing.
Right. This is above the neck. Appeal.
There you go. That's what I was getting at earlier when I was saying that. I felt like when you get past a certain point as a musician when you're starting, the next level is like, oh, well, what can I try to do to show off or try to put myself in a class of people who I think are good or whatever. It's like where you're not focusing on rhythm and like we said, sexiness.
Melody.
It's like, oh, well, let's do the above the neck thing. Like, oh, this is almost like faux snobbery.
Well, it is.
And I don't mean that to be insulting to this. I'm just more insulting myself when I was that age. The way I would try to think like, oh, I'm going to do something weird just to be weird. It's not because it's good. It's because it's weird and it's unexpected. And it's also almost like, in a way, it could be easier. It's harder to memorize, but it's easier to take random parts that don't fit together and just be like, oh, it's on purpose.
Right, versus coming up with a transition.
Coming up with the transition and making the song all work and being an editor of like, I can't use this. I have to make the song the best it can be. Instead, you're just like, slap A, B, C, D, E.
Throw this in there.
And then if you don't get it, that's your fault. You're the idiot who... It's too complicated for you.
Right, and there's also the mentality of like, okay, we're going to be playing this stuff live on bills with 3 or 4 other bands. We want to show those other bands and hopefully some people in the crowd that we spent some time in the rehearsal room putting this together, tightening our act.
Yeah.
There's definitely some of that going on.
Yeah.
But, just for this to have somewhat cracked the mainstream, whereas I was getting it at the college newspaper, seeing it on MTV is really the impressive part.
That's true.
People were aware of these guys. They weren't huge successes, but this is not a band that nobody has ever heard of. This is a band of some renown and influence.
Creeping in your double mind, there is nothing they can find. You've lost.
Now, people should know by now that you're a fan of Faith No More, Mike Patton, his various bands, Phantomas, Tomahawk,
sure, Mr. Bungle,
all that shit. Any connections there to what they do? Because I'm completely unfamiliar with all the side projects other than knowing the names and that Dave Lombardo is in one of them.
Yeah. Two of them now.
Isn't John Stanier of Helmet in one of them?
He's in Tomahawk.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I would say no to Tomahawk, no to Faith No More. I don't think they really either one go down this road. But I think you could hear Phantomas. That's like all it is, almost.
Yeah? Okay.
And then Mr. Bungle. Yes, where songs do seem like sort of disjointed at times.
Right.
Especially the earlier, like they had 3 major label albums and then a bunch of demos that people bootleg. But the first one is a lot more like that, where songs kind of, it's like the cut and paste, almost seems like
patchwork
type
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
well,
there's
good.
some of that in there for sure.
On your energy, not able to set you free. They will argue just like me, just like me, just like me, just like me. High pressure, it's on me, erasure, I'm empty. With their dog, they fill me, now I walk.
Now, another, I believe 88 was the year. I might be wrong, but it's close enough as it is. Another album that came out in this year around this time, and Justice for All.
Yeah.
Not a ton of audible bass guitar in either that or this.
You're right.
You can hear a little bit of it droning on, like almost in a higher frequency, but there's not a lot of bottom end here.
No, definitely
you're
not.
getting some from the kick drums, but there's not that, like, bowel rattling bass.
Yeah. This isn't a great sounding record.
No, it's a tough listen. It's
Yeah.
not, unless you're really in this mindset and you really get off on this kind of music. It's a challenging listen, and that's what these type of bands go for. I think.
Yeah, I think
they
so.
weed out the undesirables, which ends up resulting in their limited appeal. But not everybody is gonna be a soccer mom crossover act. These guys, it would never even occur to them. But I think that's part of the motivation, is to be as challenging and disruptive, so to speak, as possible.
I'm looking at other song titles on here. The song before it is Macro Solutions to Mega Problems.
That's very computer nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've actually seen that in jobs I applied for, where it's like the tagline of a company.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, we're looking for a self-starter who can help with some macro solutions to mega problems.
Well,
terrible.
That must be the power ballad of
Yeah.
the album. But
it does have a star next to it, which
I wonder what that means.
that usually means, I think it means it's a single, or it's like
most popular, most
but
downloaded.
So this song has this album has 8 actual songs and then the bonus 9th Batman theme cover. But of the 8, the first 7 have the star. So track 8, Cosmic Dreams, is the piece of shit, and the others are 7 classics in a row. I don't know who decided that, but that's what they've got here. So, all right, we still got a long way to go, man. We've got like 3 minutes.
Yeah, just let it roll.
Sometimes I feel there's no presence checking my mind. It's a brain scan. Sometimes my soul can reach a sense. This sin is mine. It's a brain scan.
That's my favorite part of the song. The droning, whatever, megaphone voice guy. Boop.
Beep, the Charlie Brown teacher comes in for a guest vocal.
There you go.
Yeah, I was almost thinking it was almost like some sort of guitar synth, like a Chris Gardner type
It could be.
input, which that's a name that means nothing to anybody, nor should it. But,
Right, but
he's a guy we know who has played guitar synth excessively.
yeah.
Bands that we know of around here.
He
But yeah, I listen
still.
to
They've got a new band going.
I know, but it's the same fucking guys as an idea, man.
It's the old band.
Right. It's like, oh, we added this new guy. I clicked on his name. Oh, he's an idea. It's Idea Man with a different name and no keyboardist.
So do they have 4 guys now?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was 3.
Yeah.
So they just got rid of guys, and now they're starting to add the other guys back in.
The guys we're talking about are the anvil of our vicinity. They really need to figure something else out with their lives. I'm sorry.
Great players.
Yeah, well, in that respect, they've got an edge on Anvil, but ultimately it's the same result. It's just like, how do you not have that frustration trigger? Or I've had enough. How do you not tap out at some point?
Well, I would say this. If we did Pot of Thunder for as long as we had, and I looked at the downloads and it was like
Exactly.
6, 8, I'd be like, you know what, man? Maybe we try I'm going to start
Great
knitting
analogy.
or something. Like, I'll just do something else with that hour and a
Right.
half. I don't know what
It's like
is,
we post the new episode on Facebook and there's no comments.
Yeah, right.
No likes, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, at that point, you put the microphones away. We get together once a week and shoot the shit about music amongst ourselves. But
Yeah.
when you're putting yourself out there,
You got to get some kind of
there's
response,
got to be
right?
some modicum of success, or It just can't be happening with these guys. It doesn't make any sense to me. How do you just keep plowing forward? What lobe of your brain is not functioning properly? Where is the lobe of the brain that contains the dignity endorphin or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Where is that, and why aren't the synapses firing?
Yeah.
Seriously, just end it, man.
Yeah, that's what would end it for me, I think. More than anything else would be, I'm embarrassed that I'm doing this for no one. I'm just talking to myself and putting all this effort in.
It's like... But
I told you that's what happened when I first started dabbling and doing some kind of internet radio show.
Right.
That over the weeks, it went from like whatever, I don't even know if it was 100, I can't remember what the numbers were, but dwindled down to single digits by the end. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. The universe is telling me to stop.
Figure something else
do
out.
something else.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You scrap it at that point.
Yeah. Even if it was fun, I was just like, you know what? Like you said, we can all hang out, but there's no point in putting this out
Going
there.
out in public, right. Get together. Play your music in your fucking rehearsal room. Enjoy it for each other. But when you're putting yourself out there, there's got to be some movement forward. There's got to be some
right. You're chasing
success.
something. Right.
And it's just, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
From not speaking of Voivod, although, this is a tough road to hoe as well,
Yeah.
But they were having label support and they were getting some exposure, but it's just, and they're still at it from what I can tell, from the Wikipedia, they're still doing it, but it's a tough road to hoe. This is a challenging listen.
Yeah. I think if I was ever involved in a band like this, I would not be able to make it work for 30 years. Unless the money was rolling in. But I don't know. I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm glad they're happy.
Yeah. I mean,
it just seems like you said, a hard road to hoe for that long.
Right, but, they've got some credibility. They've got some brand equity, I think. And ideally, they're doing well enough where they don't have to have day jobs, or even if they do, they're playing gigs where it's worthwhile. They're playing the full rooms, getting the give and take and feedback from the audience that they want. But I don't know, these some of the Anvils and whatever the fuck this other band of guys we know is called. It's like, just enough. Figure something else out. I mean, what other analogies can you make?
Yeah.
Dating a woman for 6 months and you've never even kissed her, let alone had sex with her. At what point do you just bail on that?
Yeah.
How long do you just keep fucking crashing your forehead against the brick wall?
Yeah. There has to be something.
When does it kick in that you need to just stop this and do something else?
There has to be some kind of incremental success.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, if it's a public thing, definitely.
Yeah, right. Behind closed doors, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something in the public realm and still nobody cares, something's wrong, fix it or scrap it.
Fix it.
Well, but seriously, and people are, they take umbrage with my stance on that. It's like, oh, you should give these guys credit for sticking with it, and it's like, fuck that, man. Make whatever job you're working at. Say you've been there for 10 years, you've never gotten a raise, no forward movement.
Yeah. I know some guys like that. Go on.
At some point, you gotta go back to school. You have to do something to break through that ceiling. Otherwise, you just what do you expect to happen there?
One of my friends on Friday said, I was talking to this guy, and he said, man, I haven't gotten a raise in 15 years. I don't know why I'm still here.
Does he realize he's losing a significant amount of money with that? He's not even keeping up with the cost of living. He's in the hole 15% over the years. That's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't relate to that.
It's funny because it's exactly a conversation I just had.
Well, that's the thing. I can't relate to it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like you there's nothing wrong with quitting if it's not working.
Yeah.
This notion that, never quit, never give up. Fuck that. That's another fallacy that gets dumped on by these dickheads on LinkedIn or want to be these fucking motivational, professional people. Never give up, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's a fallacy. If you're running down a rabbit hole with zero success, give up, quit, figure something else out.
Yeah, I think the never give up thing is overstated.
So it's right up there with the customer is always right. Biggest bunch of horse shit ever released on anything. That's why I don't even want to get on that rabbit hole. But you want to talk about the attitude that's given rise to the absolute fucking entitled modern consumer.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Customer is always right. Get the fuck out of here with that.
All right.
So you got a customer, he comes in, he's decided that day he wants to fuck your wife. Is he right? You gonna let him do it?
Right. Where's the line?
Oh, well, you can't piss off a customer. Okay, go ahead. Let him fuck your wife while you watch. How's that gonna make you feel? Fuck that. Stupid. See,
Well,
this music is starting to charge me up a little
It is, yeah.
It's making me think about things in a different way.
It is. Is it supposed to be that literal? Customer's always right? I mean, I don't know.
Some people, is never give up supposed to be that literal?
Yeah.
Some people will lead you to believe it is.
You're right, yeah.
Fuck. So stupid.
It's okay to quit. It's okay.
It is okay. Not only is it okay to quit, it's absolutely what you should do in certain situations.
In a lot of situations. You've only got so much time. If you're wasting it on something that's not fruitful to you or whatever, then stop. Do something else.
Yeah.
Find something else. Like there are things you might not be cut out to do in your life.
Oh, there's another one. If you work hard enough, you can be anything you want. No, you can't.
No.
Nope. Cannot do it.
Here's one quick example. When I was like 14, I thought skateboarding was the coolest thing in the world. I got a skateboard. I skateboarded every day for this whole summer of whatever year that was when I was 14. And like I could go on it and ride around like the city, but as far as the things we were watching on these videos that people were doing, like tricks, I couldn't do shit. And I tried every day for like 8 hours for 3 months, and I couldn't do a damn thing. And I realized, okay, this is just not going to work for me.
Right.
I'm not capable.
Right.
Because there were other people who could, and like kids who could.
Yeah.
I'm like, this just isn't going to work for me. So as much as I like this, and I think it's cool.
Your X Games dreams were over.
And I knew
you realized that soon.
Yeah, and I could ride the thing around, and that's kind of fun just to go down the streets for, a means of transportation to a friend's house or whatever. But like you said, I'm not going to be featured on the X Games. And I knew, and I was like, this isn't worth my time.
No.
Total waste of time. So in that case, quitting was the right thing to do. Find something else.
Everybody's got that in their lives, and it's just so many fallacies to motivate you, which is there's nothing wrong with motivating you, but to encourage you to continue going down a dead end is a disservice.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try with something.
Well, exactly. You don't give up completely, because then you become a fucking burden on everybody else.
Yeah.
But, figure it out.
Yeah.
Fix it.
Fix it.
Don't ask him, give a break. You can't even close the gate. Passing
That totally sounds like a, what would you say, precursor Dillinger Escape Plan riff.
Does it?
Yeah, that like that like jabbing high end guitar thing that's like on a weird timing.
Yeah, I'm completely
that's totally their world.
Clueless about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I'm interested to know is, you know, how much bands like Dillinger Escape Plan or any of those other bands of the modern day of this ilk would point to Voivod as being a huge influence. I gotta guess it's almost all of them, if not everyone.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I hear it.
And if somebody was playing this kind of music on a grand, well, comparatively grand scale before a Voivod, that I'd be interested in learning about, because, you know, like I said, you see this on Headbangers Ball late at night. You're 21, 22 years old, like I was. Chances are you're fucked up watching it. This comes at you, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Do you remember which song it was or no?
No, but no. This album, I've always remembered the title. It's always stayed with me. Just because, again, you know, we get the stack of albums in the mail. You open up, you sift through them, and there's a little something of everything. You know.
Yeah.
You know, this was probably right on top of a Debbie Gibson album, or
right.
You know,
yeah.
It's there was everything in these stacks that you would get. And you come to this, and you're just like, Voivod, what is this? And then you just you read the bio, and you're like, okay, I gotta listen to this. And then you put it on, and it's totally out of left field.
It sounds like what the cover looks like, which is pretty cool, because it's this weird like skeleton electric robot machine thing that's kind of shitty looking but kind of awesome.
Right. And you're watching Headbangers Ball, and maybe not this song, probably not this song, but something from Voivod comes in, and you're just like, what the hell was that? That was my reaction when I saw Primus, the first. Do
you remember what that was?
It was Jerry was a race car driver.
Okay, super weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It comes on, and you're just like, what the fuck is that? And then you buy the album, and you know, Primus is a little bit more digestible than this, but not much.
Not much, yeah.
No mainstream media outlet is feeding you challenging listens like this anymore. Those days are over.
Some got the reason. Is there something I can feel? Translucent language, reflecting new age. Words are a limitation.
You listen to this, and you're just like, how do you find four guys of the like mind to create music like this? And then once you've crossed that hurdle, I wonder how long did it take you to put this song together and lock in, and like how many takes did they need to record?
And let's run through that one again. All right, here we go.
Right. It's like, you know, if you were to listen to my old band stuff, it's pretty simple arrangements.
Yeah.
You know, there's still stuff that you have to memorize, so you get all the changes right, and you rehearse that and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere near complex like this. Like, I think we've touched on it on some previous episodes, but I do enjoy watching my dancing shows on TV, the Dancing with the Stars,
So you think you can dance.
And one of the things I appreciate about it is that I would never be able to do that. How do they memorize the choreography?
Yeah.
And Dancing with the Stars these are not professional dancers, and you watch some of these people actually get better at it.
Yeah.
Granted, they're rehearsing their asses off, but I watch this, and I'm just like, I could never memorize that,
No.
much less put together the moves and the lifts and all that. It's the same reaction I'm having listening to this music. It's like, how do you not fuck up a transition?
Yeah.
How do you get it to be this tight? And that's really the impressive thing about it. I think that's what they're going for, is to impress with that. And yeah, they're communicating some sort of probably societal commentary here.
I would assume so, but I don't exactly know what it is.
In terms of like the arrangement and what they're pulling off here, it's impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't do it in a million years. It's not natural.
This would
me.
take more than an hour and a half a week to nail this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need more free time.
Yeah, and if your drummer can't make a rehearsal because he's got to take the kids to soccer practice, you ain't coming up with this.
No.
Nor are you being tight with it if you do come up with it.
Right.
So this takes a full commitment from everyone involved.
Yep. Still new parts coming at us.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And there's a whole album's worth of this stuff.
that's a lot of music.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, it could be as long as another band's album, but this has way more parts of music.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Individual
It's like,
pieces.
how do you
Yeah.
memorize it?
Yeah.
You look down at the set list and you see this song in there, and it's like, okay, so at 4 minutes we're going to switch gears here and do the. How the hell does your mind work that way? I can't even relate to it.
No.
Locking me out of my skull. Something without physical. Disturbing my frequency. Terminate identity. Behind myself, out of me. Out of me. Out of me. Out of me.
And you got to have this part.
Yeah.
Now we circle back to almost a ghost type element.
Yeah. And
So
that's it.
that
That's
probably
just
flowed into the next song.
not really.
No,
That's
that
the
was
next
the
one.
beginning.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I thought it
Yeah.
would too. That's why I checked it out.
Yeah, that's a challenging, unsettling listen right there.
Can we hear the Batman theme for a few
I would
seconds?
love to hear that. How long is the Batman theme?
145.
Just play the whole damn thing at
All
this
right,
point. I'm
let's hear.
curious.
There we go. Come on. I don't hear it yet.
Okay, I kind of heard it there. Okay, there it is.
What are they doing to poor Batman?
Why, too?
Yeah.
See, that's another mystery. It's like, what was the name of the song we listened to?
Brain
Scan.
Scan.
Okay. So you come up with Brain Scan in the rehearsal room, writing your album. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, next let's work up the Batman theme. Or like, let's do the Three's Company theme.
Right.
Let's do our take on that. It's like, how do you switch gears from Brain Scan to that? I mean, I guess if you're switching gears all song long and just the way you approach music, going from one completely different song to another is not a challenge either. But I don't know. It's very strange.
It is very strange. All right. Well, it's time for us to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch. Chris, how about you vote first today?
Well, just for the audacity of it, the influence of it, the just being completely different and original, I've got to give it a Sweet Surrender.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
And also just the fact that how just looking at the album cover, it embedded this album title in my brain, and it stayed there for 31 years. When you pulled up Voivod, that's a legit impact, you know?
Yeah.
So for those reasons, you can't kick this in the crotch.
Can you?
You could. I personally can't. I mean, it's not a sweet surrender in that I'm going to rush out and download this and listen to it for enjoyment. But you got to give them their credit for what I believe to be as a very early, if not earliest example of this type of music.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to be giants of the genre. Everybody who's come after them, like Greg alluded to in his comments, have got to point to Voivod as a legitimate influence. You know, you got to give the credit there.
Mm. Well, I enjoyed it the way one could possibly enjoy getting kicked in the crotch.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
And I do mean that sincerely. I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to create any fake drama here and go to the next round. I didn't think it would be a classic. You summed it up best when you said a couple times that it's a tough listen. That's what it is. So I enjoyed parts of it. I think the audacity, like you said, takes a lot of balls to do this in front of people. Not that it's like embarrassing, but you know, like we said, to work all these parts out, memorize them, and then present it live and hopefully pull it off. That takes a lot of skill and, you know, a lot of time. I respect all that, but I don't know. It's not a song I think I'd ever go back and be like, I'm going to listen to that on the drive home. And, you know, well, I respect it, but it just maybe something about the day I'm having or the week I'm having.
It might be handy to keep it at the ready so you can crank it. And so the next time you drive past a woman shitting in the street, this would be a nice thing to blare in her direction as that's happening.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I'll just flip my hazards on.
Give me Brain Scan and have it at the ready. Just park right next to her.
Yeah, flip the hazards on.
Make her
roll the windows
unpleasant
down.
Situation even more so. That's incredible. That's a story right up. That's a random occurrence right up there with what used to happen to Nick.
Yeah. And you know what was weird about it? I forgot to mention this earlier.
What wasn't weird about it would be the question.
You're right. I was on the phone with my mom at the moment, and I was like, oh, my God. And she's like, what happened? I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I didn't even know if I wanted to talk about it because I think I was, like, in shock. And I was like, yeah, I just saw a woman taking a crap on the side of the highway. Sorry, distracted from our conversation for a minute.
Extreme emergency situation.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Again, respect, but still a kick in the crotch for me. Kick in the crotch in the way that, like, if you're someone who pays people to do that for pleasure, maybe like that. Someone who likes
Yeah,
to...
that works.
Yeah.
But again, it's a tough listen. It's a challenging listen. To just throw this album on and like consume it.
Yeah.
I can't relate to that, especially at my age. It's like I'm too old to be listening to this bullshit. And when I say bullshit, I don't want to throw too much disrespect on Voivod. But what I'm saying is like, it's bullshit along the lines of the R. Kelly song we've been enjoying in the past. It's like, you know, with all the bullshit I've got on my mind these days, to compound it with this, it's like I'd just be a mess. I need things to slow me down, soothe my thinking. I don't need. And in any respect in my life.
Yeah, I don't need my stress elevated by the music I'm
listening to. It's like it came up randomly. We're doing it in the context of the show. I appreciate the talent, the dedication, the unique thinking that goes into creating this. I don't need to hear it ever again. It's not good for me from a health standpoint.
Yeah, I agree.
Seriously.
I think in my late teens or early 20s, I would have liked this album and been into it. And like, this is awesome, and try to like play it for my friends. And now I just, like you said, I don't have the capacity to process this at this point in my life. No, and it's just like
there's as you get older, you know, reality sets in. You actually have stress in your life.
Yeah,
this is not a stress reliever. This type of music.
No,
and I guarantee you, this album was reviewed in print in the newspaper, because now that I'm thinking back to it, I was remembering how difficult it was to write a headline with Dimension Hatross in it and try and get it to fit on the two lines. I don't remember me listening to this and reviewing it. I think it was somebody else on the entertainment desk, but I guarantee you, if I went through the archives of the state news, the Michigan State University newspaper from 1988, you would see a review of this album in there.
Well, I don't know what that review said, but I know what we said. I'm sure you agree with one of us, maybe neither of us. I don't know what to tell you. We're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Deal with it.
Paul Anka wouldn't be grokking this at all.
No. You
I
don't think he does
so.
A cover of Brain Scan?
I don't think so. No.
When he appears at the local casino,
yelling at his band members because they missed one of the 70 tempo changes in the 5-minute song.
I think even Paul Anka would give them a pass on that.
I don't know.
No?
Paul Anka's got pretty high standards. If it's in the set, you better fucking have it down pat or get a new job.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's another thing. Anka would be on board with our attitude. If it ain't working, fire the motherfucker. Don't just give him chance after chance after chance.
Yeah.
If the guy ain't cutting it, sack his ass and move on.
Yeah. There you go.
Anka would agree.
He would.
He doesn't fuck around.
No, he doesn't. This is his favorite hangout spot.
It is
Pot
his
of Thunder.
favorite hangout spot. I think we need to roll that outro again just to remind people.
We will. We'll do that today. You know what his favorite part of the show is? It's the Yardo question.
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
Ooh. All right. This week's Yardo Questions comes to us from Adam Montague.
It's another name we're familiar with from
Yes, sir.
turning up on our social media channels, involving himself in the discussion, which we always appreciate.
Yep.
Been getting some nice discussion threads, like 50, 60 comments long.
The one from this week is like 80 something.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. Or from last, we know what I mean.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. That's
Current episode.
It's a beautiful thing. That's what we're going for.
Yep.
That's why we don't quit. Again, going back to what we talked about earlier. If we were on, what is this, episode 310?
310,
Okay.
yeah.
If we were putting out episode 310 and getting 2 comments, quit.
Yeah.
Fix it. Sort it out, you slugs.
There you go. All right, so Adam, he's got 3 questions for us.
Now you're answering these now, since it's it's not all on me. Is
correct.
It?
No, I'll answer with you.
Nobody wants that.
No. All right, question 1. I think he meant if you guys, but it says, if guys were approached by a record company to do a Kiss song for a covers album, which song would you guys do? So,
does it mean each of us individually or collectively?
I'm going to say collectively. Like, as Pod of Thunder. Like, hey.
Well, but see, that's now off the table with the new...
Well, it has to be fantasy.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, but if we're asking each one of us, so let's say we're approached individually with the opportunity to do a cover. Let's answer it individually.
Okay, sure. I've got an answer if you're thinking.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
So, my answer, not to be Mr. Deep Cut or whatever, but it's a song that I've thought about. Like, I would like to cover that in a band. It's not a song that would be featured on a best of Kiss cover album, but I would pick It's All Right from Paul's solo album.
Oh, that's a great one, yeah. That's actually great. Yeah. Yes, that's a great call. What a great tune that is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna go on that album and go with Wouldn't You Like to Know Me.
All right.
What a couple of great songs. That's, if nothing else could be identified as a positive outcome of this podcast, for me it would be discovering Paul's solo album.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Except for the one pandering ballad, everything else is a slam dunk. Great.
It's like the Voivod album. It's 8 stars and then Hold Me, Touch Me.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right.
They're almost identical. Paul Stanley, Dimension Hatross. We should do the album Clash with Jericho.
There you go.
If it's the same amount of
Yeah, it's got the Batman song that goes up against Goodbye.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're mirror images of each other.
All right. Question 2. President Trump has become aware of Andy giving Shout It Out Loud and 2000 Man a hell while giving Gene's cover of When You Wish Upon a Star a hallelujah. Did I do that? I must have.
You probably did.
I know the first 2, the hells for the first 2 is true, but did I do that? I must have. Maybe it was to get your goat that day because I knew you hated it. Anyway, President Trump has decided to deport the 3 of you and your families as punishment. You must leave the United States but can stay anywhere else in the world. What city/country do you choose?
Well, I will say, since it's Kiss related, one of the stops on the Kiss cruise I was on in 2016. Jesus, that's almost 3 years
that
ago
long
already.
Ago? Wow.
Cayman Islands. I could live there very happily. What a great place. Awesome.
Yeah.
Grand Cayman for me.
This is an interesting one to me because various things are going through my head. First, I'm thinking weather. Like, hey, maybe I get an upgrade on the weather because it's, hit or miss here. But then I'm also thinking language. Do I want to go to an English-speaking country because I'm lazy and I'm not like the guys from Voivod who are going to learn a second language? Do I have to? Am I thinking like, Ireland or
you're
England?
already thinking too much.
Thinking too much, right?
Because every place on Earth is going to have your weather challenges.
Yeah.
You're going to you're being deported. Your life is being turned upside down. Make it as pleasant as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, Cayman Islands, you're going to have hurricanes in that area probably.
All right.
Big deal.
So my first thought was Cabo San Lucas, but I wouldn't want to deal with all the potential beheadings. I don't know.
Well, just stay in the vicinity of Sammy Hagar's
Right.
place and you'll be fine.
That'll be fine.
Surrounded by white people there.
Yeah. I'm thinking... I'm only playing the game with places...
Really beheading people in Cabo San
No,
Lucas
I'm just
now?
thinking... I don't know. I don't think so. I'm just... Mexico's a fun place to vacation, but the idea of living there forever is kind of frightening to me.
Yeah,
It's- Maybe that's stereotypes or news that's leaked out here that's... I mean, you could say the same thing about Chicago.
Sure.
So
You know, you venture into the wrong area. You're finished.
yeah. But I'm only picking from places I've been before. So if not Cabo San Lucas, I would go with Nice in France because I enjoyed... We were there for like 3 days on our honeymoon where we went to a few different...
Languid lovemaking.
That's how you do it there in the French Riviera.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the only way to do it.
Prolonged eye contact.
You don't want to cause a scene.
No, but again, Nice is like the opposite of the song we just listened to.
Yeah.
Nice puts you in that languid mindset, and I've never been there,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming it.
Yeah.
It's not the brain scan of cities.
No.
That would be like fucking New York City.
Yeah.
Plopping
yeah, yeah.
you right down in the middle of Manhattan. That's brain scan right there.
Yeah. From my
Nice
experience,
is, you know,
yeah, from my experience, it was it's tropical, palm trees, beach,
well, can't beat that.
promenade, big, air, and then good food that you can walk to. So there's that kind of area. So.
That sounds like a good combo.
Yeah, so that's what I would go with.
The languid lovemaking,
Oh.
prolonged eye contact,
And one more thing.
deep shooting.
It's the only way to do it.
Shoot it deep and let God sort it out.
I gotta get a T-shirt that says
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Wear it to a pierogi fest. That's where we have to unleash our most outrageous I need to get This Guy Bones His Women Like
Yeah.
a Champ T-shirt. Wear it to pierogi fest.
You'd be a hit. You'd be getting so many high fives.
You think so?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think that needs to happen.
Yeah. And the last thing about Nice, from my experience there, the other thing people always say, if you're going to France, you got to be careful because they hate everyone from America. I don't know if that's just like a Paris thing, but we didn't experience that anywhere in the French Riviera.
That's since Trump was invoked, that's more fake news.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I say several episodes ago about, when we go vacation at these resorts in Jamaica or wherever, and draws people from all over, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What's the other stereotype? All Americans are fat asses. Guess what? Everybody's a fat ass when they're get into their 40s and 50s and beyond.
It's life.
It is life, and it's when you're living the good life, you
Right.
become a little portly, and the Americans do not have the market cornered on that shit.
No.
So let's put that bullshit to rest.
All right, question 3. You guys are approached by 3 companies to do a high...
A lot of approaching
Yeah.
going on.
That is what happens to us, though.
Yeah.
The more
People approach us.
the more successful we become, the more approaching.
Yeah.
That band we mentioned earlier, zero approaching happening to them.
People moving in our direction,
Yeah.
heading toward us.
Yep. You guys are approached by 3 companies to do a highly paid 20-second TV commercial endorsing their latest product, but can only do one. Which one do you choose from? So I'm assuming the highly paid, the money is the same regardless. So 3 products, we have to pick one.
Wait, so we have to name 3 products? And then...
No, this guy, he listed 3. We're going to choose one of his 3.
Okay.
So
Got
here
it.
we go.
All right.
First one, Line 6's newest range of shitty guitar
Okay,
amps.
that's definitely out for me. I'd be surprised if I don't default back to that.
Okay. Abercrombie & Fitch's newest range of cargo shorts and flip-flops.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Wow.
Now you're not sure.
No.
Well,
both of those are non-starters for me. So
yeah.
What's coming next here?
Third and final choice. Big Dog's newest range of Star Wars shirts.
Ooh,
so your eyes lit up with Big Dogs, and then
Yeah.
you heard Star Wars, which put you back down.
Of those three, for me, Big Dogs and Star Wars are less offensive than the other two, so I got to go with option 3.
It's funny, though, that Big Dogs has the same amount of money as the other companies.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Hey, I guess so.
They're selling merchandise. It's a damn shame that the Big Dogs outlet is no longer at the mall in Michigan City.
It's not?
No, it's gone.
Did you go to check?
Well, I used to see it. I never went in there. I would go in there now if it was still in there just to see what they got. But,
Yeah.
There used to be a Big Dogs outlet at
Unbelievable.
the outlet mall that's closest to us, Michigan City, Indiana.
What's the deal with outlet malls? Not to sound like Jerry Seinfeld, but I thought it used to be like sale items or clearance items, but I feel like sometimes you go in one of those outlet stores and it's the same price as the store at a regular mall. Are there no rules on this? Is this not being regulated by anyone?
Who said that there had to be a discount? There's no. It's something that people have been conditioned to believe by the word outlet.
Yeah,
but it's just another fucking shopping mall.
that's really it. Yeah,
and you might get some like you said, discontinued or
last season.
or
stuff.
stuff that didn't take hold or whatever. I also find that when you don't go on the holiday weekends when they advertise like huge alleged sales, you get better deals when you just show up there on a random weekday.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. It's more horse shit.
Horse shit
being dumped on the populace, and people believe it.
Yeah.
Outlet has become the Angus beef of shopping. It means nothing. Nobody knows what it means.
They're just getting you in the door.
What store isn't an outlet for the retailer?
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense.
It's bullshit. The word outlet is conditioned people to believe something that simply isn't true.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great
Well,
work.
wait, did you answer it? You didn't answer the question.
I was with you. Big Dogs all the way, for sure.
Well,
yeah, there's no doubt.
First of all, again, cargo shorts and flip-flops, you can't. Well, let's come back to that. Line 6 stuff.
All right, let's go through this.
All right. You're not a guitar guy.
No.
It's garbage equipment. It's Fisher-Price romper room stuff for guitars.
And Nick famously has one.
Well,
and he you guys went, even when he got it, which would have been like 04, 05, you guys were having this discussion back then.
It's bedroom stuff that if you try and put it in a real world situation, it's going to be buzzy crap. And they've never improved on it from what I can tell. So,
do they have like higher end lines of stuff? Not to use the word line,
maybe, but I don't know. It's kid stuff. It's stuff you get when you're finding your way, and then you realize there's much better out there, and you never come back to it. So I'm 50-2. I'm definitely not going down the line 6 road ever again
until they offer us money.
Well, no, seriously, like
that would be a line.
I wouldn't. I would rather just pony up for my own shit than get a bunch of money to use their crap. Okay. Cargo shorts speak for itself. You don't have that much shit that you need all those pockets, and if you do, you need to downsize. Just like at home, when your fucking garage is a storage unit, you got too much shit. Get rid of the shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Thong sandals. Okay, I saw a ton of them when I was on vacation, and this is what I came up with. Okay.
All right.
Thin strips of fabric shouldn't enter any crevice on a man's body ever. I don't care if it's your ass or the between your big toe and the next toe over. If you got thin strips of fabric entering into the various crevices on your body, you got to figure something else out. Fix it, is the mantra. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Stop it, fix it, sort it out. No place on a man's body. The slide sandal, perfectly acceptable.
That's
because
fine.
there's nothing entering
Yeah.
a crevice on your body. You don't want that.
I agree with you.
That's it in a nutshell. I was giving this some thought as I was poolside.
Yeah.
The thin strip of fabric in the crevice of the body. Can't have it.
The section of skin between the first and second toe is known as the foot's asshole.
Yes, it is. Christened that not far from where I saw that homeless guy taking a shit.
Is that where that happened?
It was in that vicinity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The foot's asshole.
So that actually, once all the choices were revealed, it was a pretty easy question to answer for me.
Yeah. I'm okay with the big dog Star Wars shirts. That works for me.
I'd wear that ironically, and maybe even not ironically. If the zinger on it was funny enough, there's a few in there that are funny.
They made me
Some
laugh.
of them are terrible.
I laughed.
Most of them are terrible.
I was looking at those big dog shirts on their website. I laughed way too hard at some of them. I was like almost crying, laughing at work, trying to hide myself from my coworkers so they didn't see me behind the monitors, almost crying at big dog slogans. And I don't think
something right.
Yeah, it's not funny in the traditional sense, but something about it was just making me laugh really hard.
It's like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
You laugh at like somebody's been paid to come up with this.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is funny.
Yeah. So I would go with big
that
dog.
was an easy question to answer once all the choices were revealed.
Flip-flops are unacceptable.
No, never. You
Yeah.
can absolutely not.
Nope. You can get some kind of shoe or a slide. You don't need a flip-flop.
Get it's the slide. Go with the slide style. That's fine.
Mhm.
Perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Thong, the word should not apply to the male gender in any capacity.
Yeah. I agree.
The entire continent of Australia is doing it wrong. There's something wrong with those people.
With those people.
It's seriously. Apparently that's the footwear of choice down there. No.
Everywhere?
It's wrong.
Not
No.
just at the beach? Like,
From what the Aussies who listen to the show have led us to believe that's what all the dudes wear now.
see, that was going to be my
fucked up.
choice, one of my options for where to go when I get kicked out of the United States. But
Not anymore.
Not with that.
No, absolutely not.
No, if they
Can't
won't
have it.
If they won't allow me to bring my
No.
shoes in, I'm not.
Things should not be entering into the crevices of your body.
No.
Toilet paper, maybe, for obvious reasons.
Maybe. Not even.
Well, if
definitely.
you have a bidet, maybe
there you
can
go.
knock that out.
Yeah.
That's another concept I don't get, the bidet. It's like, don't you have to dry yourself off after that
I would
shit?
think so.
You don't just get off the bidet and put your pants back on and go about your business, right?
Wet ass.
Yeah.
You have like khakis with a big
Yeah,
wet spot on the back.
That's another thing I don't get. How does that work?
I'm gonna have to investigate.
Yeah.
I like the sanitary idea. I don't think I would enjoy the sensation of the water.
No, and then you're wiping anyway to dry off. Why not just cut out the middleman?
The perfect solution is the wet wipe.
Yeah,
That works.
exactly.
The flushable wipe.
Sure.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you don't need an extra fucking throne in your bathroom. One that you run the risk of falling into by the looks
And
of it.
you got a stiff leg with your pants around your ankles from one to the other to get to the bidet.
What a stupid concept. Dumb.
Never thought of that. It's not. It's a different throne.
It is.
That's
Why-
ridiculous.
It's stupid. It
is stupid.
You're gonna wipe anyway to dry off. Why not just fucking clean and whatever? To add another porcelain implement and use more water is just the stupidest thing I can think of.
Yeah. Who has the space for one?
All right.
That's
And then when people in this country put one in just to say they had it, that you're automatically an asshole if you've done that.
Yeah, you're a fool.
It's like nobody uses that shit in this country. Fuck off with that.
Just use your garden hose if you feel so inclined.
It's like you watch House Hunters and they're going through a house and it has a bidet, and it's like, get out of here with that. Get rid of that. What asshole felt that it was a good idea to put that in? That's so stupid.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's show. So many things to talk about. One of those things, if you want to submit your yard of questions, go to potofthunder.com. If you want to submit a song, potofthunder.com. If you want to buy some merchandise like a lapel pin, an enamel lapel pin with the Pot of Thunder logo, you can do that on our website too. I lost mine today. Add it to the shitty week. We went for a walk to the little store a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
Came back, took my jacket off. Pot of Thunder pin's missing.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I'm going to have to retrace my steps tomorrow. I'm going in there and I'm going to say, did you see this? I'm bringing another one. Did you find one of these? That's $10, man.
Yeah. That's
Down the shitter.
Tragedy. Yeah, this has been a rough week. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to starting anew next week. Too much crap going on.
Way too much
It's
crap.
stressful.
Yeah. Had it with this week.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And
that's
you
it.
combine all that with the, panicking messages we're receiving about Nick. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's, what's R. Kelly's line? Why can't you understand all the bullshit I've got in my mind,
Yeah.
from Real Talk?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a show. Why are you even concerning yourself with it, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Like, you're sitting there minding your own business after a tough week around 10 p.m. and suddenly you get the notification of a Facebook message. You look at it and you're like, "What? Why is this happening?"
Why is this happening?
I've been
to me?
shop vacuuming my basement for 3 nights straight, and now I got to deal with this crap.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Where's it at? I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Oh, where the hell is it? I'm gonna find it. I don't think we're gonna find it.
Just read it. Though.
Yeah.
Just read
All right,
it.
here we go. Wait a minute. There's old jealous no man having assholes. There's a line in here.
Mm-hmm.
Always accusing me of some old bullshit when I'm just trying to have a good time.
Right, yeah.
Don't you think I got enough bullshit on my mind?
That's the line.
Those
right
3
there.
lines in a row. Accusing me of some old bullshit when I'm just trying to have a good
Yeah,
time.
it's like, you know what? Again, I parted with $1,400 to get my car fixed.
Yeah.
Shop vacuuming my basement for 3 nights straight.
Don't you think I got enough bullshit on my mind?
And someone comes crashing into my orbit with demands to know what's going on with Nick. It's like, don't you think I've got enough bullshit on my mind?
There you go. Real talk.
It's like, who does that? You don't know what's happening in my world. Obviously, the other stuff, it could have been even something even more serious from that.
Sure.
And you're bugging me with this? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Seriously, come on. Put things in perspective, for Christ's sake. Honestly. How old are we? Are we grown men here? Or what are we? What's happening? Figure it out.
Oh.
Jesus.
If you want to submit your intro for the show, yell Pot of Thunder into your phone.
And do so while the website is still up, because it might be nuked after this latest rant. But
could
anyway,
Could be.
if not, we'll figure out another way for you to get your information to us.
Yeah.
Can't cut us off completely,
Yes.
but yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
If you want to submit your intro, just yell Pot of Thunder into your phone and email it to potofthunder@yahoo.com, and we will marry it with the existing instrumental track.
But the theme is, for those of us in this room and just the show in general, it's a new dawn, it's a new week, onward, upward.
Yeah.
Hopefully things keep getting better. That's that.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it.
Hi, guys. This is Paul Anka, and you're listening to one of my favorite hangout places, Pot of Thunder. Stay tuned and don't miss it daily. They got it down, and they do it my way. Anka, checking out.